won't we, Bob?
I know, I'm not going to add this in. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So it's that time of month again where I'm going to go through my Vanguard portfolio. So I will be reviewing my Vanguard SIPP portfolio and also my Vanguard ISA. So if you're new here, then I do these monthly updates so that, you know, people can get a sense of what investing looks like. I like to share the ups and the downs and show you that it's not always positive, but I like to show the realistic side behind investing. So I'm going to share my screen and I'll first start with my Vanguard ISA, and then I will go through my SIPP where I'll actually show you on the Vanguard website. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So as always, I have my 6 funds, which you know, if you've been here for a while, you would have seen it's the same 6 funds that I invest in. I have the same goal weight, so 50% for the VWRL, which is the a global ETF tracker, and then I've got 10% for all the others, so Pacific ex Japan, S&P 500, FTSE 250, ESG emerging markets, and the FTSE All World High Dividend Yield. So this is just how I've structured it. There's no guide or anything like that I followed. It's just based on my preference, my risk preference, and basically where I want extra exposure to. So the VWRL generally covers all of these other funds, but it's just because I want that extra exposure. And then I've got the current weight in the next column, which shows you how much I currently have invested. So it's very hard to balance it to be exactly aligned with my goal weight. So it will vary a little bit, as you can see. So the VWRL, for instance, it's 50.3% instead of 50%, but you can see generally they're around the goal weight. And I use this as a guide to figure out what I'm going to invest in for the next month. For the return since inception, and I want to make this clear, it's the return since I started investing. So the VWRL, the return since inception that I have seen is 20.15%. So it's slightly up from last month's. So it's not doing too badly. Then I've got the Pacific ex Japan fund, and this is currently sitting at 9.94%. So this did decrease by about 3%, but Asia right now, as you may know, is going through a lot of different things. So that doesn't surprise me too much. Now for the S&P 500, this is the star winner, which is currently at 33.98%. So this has performed the best out of all of the funds that I have. And yeah, I guess it's just been a pretty good year and a half for this fund. Then I've got the FTSE 250, which is 8.33%. So this has gone down, I think, since last month, but it's still, obviously, all of these numbers are much better than anything I would get in a savings account. So even though they've gone down, they're still doing fairly well. Then I've got the ESG emerging markets, which is still in a negative 2.04%. I'm going to hold on to this one. And then lastly, I've got the FTSE All World High Dividend Yield, or the VHYL, and that's returned 19.31% since inception. So that one has done really well as well. So for the total return since inception for this month from December is 14.95%. So as you can see, that's slightly lower than it was for November, but still not too bad, and higher from October, slightly lower from September. So here you can see the pattern. So it's been going up and down, but that is the nature of the stock market. That is it for my Vanguard ISA, and now we'll head over to my Vanguard SIPP. So for my SIPP, the current value sits at £17,004.41. So you can see that the initial investment was £15,082.47. So that's been a change of £1,921.94. So this has gradually gone up over the months. And if you've been here for a while, then you would have seen when I first opened my SIPP. For those of you who are new, I'll just do a bit of a background. So essentially, what I have done is I've transferred out of my employer pension into this Vanguard SIPP. And the reason why I've done that is because the fees are a lot lower with Vanguard. I feel like I have a bit more control over what's going on. And yeah, I just generally prefer having a bit more of a bird's eye view over these investments. So you can see that I am invested in one fund only, which is the Target Retirement 2050 Fund, which is actually quite similar to what I was invested in my employer pension. It was a 2050 fund. It was a target retirement. So essentially that just means that as I get closer to retirement age, my portfolio will automatically be shifted from stocks, being primarily in stocks, to a bigger balance of stocks and bonds. Because I'm invested in the target retirement fund, it will automatically do that for me. Now, it does mean that you pay a slightly higher expense ratio than you would for another type of ETF, like the VWRL, for instance, because you're paying for somebody to do this for you. But still, the good thing with Vanguard is that these fees are really, really low. So it's definitely cheaper for me to do it via Vanguard than my employer pension. But yeah, this is what I put into my SIPP, I think in March this year. So March 2022, you're going to see that there'll be a big chunk of money coming in again, because I'll be transferring out of my employer pension into this SIPP. And I can only do it once a year. It very much depends on your pension provider. So this all has to be, you have to do your own research essentially. So this is just after I've done my own research according to my circumstances to make sure that everything is in place. So yeah, this is what I've got right now. The change has been pretty good. It's very nice to see it over that £17,000 mark. I'm looking forward to see it get past that £20,000 mark. But yeah, it's looking good. It's performing well. If I look at the performance, actually, let's see what the return has been. So the rate of return is 15.26%, which is really good. So if we look at this top graph, it doesn't look as great. But when you look at the graph at the bottom, you can kind of see the trajectory a bit more and how it's increased over time. So I've not added any extra money into this, into my SIPP since March. This is just doing all the stuff on its own, working on its own. And again, I'll just have a big transfer in March 2022. But until then, just letting it do its thing. So I have a full playlist of all of my Vanguard portfolio updates, which I've linked down below in the description if you want to see where I started and where I am now. And I also have videos on my Trading 212 and free trade portfolios as well, if you are interested in that. But that will be it for today. And I will, of course, do another Vanguard portfolio update in the new year when it hits 2022. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video real soon.